Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Whatever time it is for you, I'm Cyclone. It's time for my Let's Play Train Simulator Classic. Well, here we are in a place I did not expect to be today. We're going back to Miami, and this was not what I planned to do this week. Suffice to say, the route I was going to be playing yesterday, and today, and tomorrow, and so on, was going to be out today, or out by yesterday, I should say, but it's not. And it left me, when I came home from my mother's on Wednesday, it left me in a quandary of what do I do to pass off 2 days of videos before moving into that route, because I have something else I want to do on Tuesday. I couldn't find anything with two scenarios that I had ready to go, or I hadn't introduced the route that they're on yet, so I basically had to make a decision on something to do and something to break up further. And this was the unlucky victim. And the reason this was the unlucky victim is because we're going to be coming back here a lot anyway. You can see we have a lot of stuff down here to do on this route. So we're not going to be lacking for content to do here. And for that reason, I decided this was going to be where we go. I could have done Sherman Hill as well. I need to go back to Sherman Hill, actually, for some more stuff. But I have a lot here as well. And there's a lot of workshop stuff, I believe, on this route as well. So I will definitely be not lacking content for this route for a long time. Or ever. So let's go ahead and start with scenario number 6 today. We're going to save the workshop scenario and scenario 8 for another time. There's scenario 8. So we're going to be doing 6 and 7 today and tomorrow. That's what I've decided is the best course of action here. I'll save number 8 for the next run. And when I do number 8, I'm going to try and do the workshop scenario around the same time. Or at the very least, I might go and do the anniversary Amtrak. I haven't decided yet. There is an anniversary Amtrak, the P42DC that we're using today. If we scroll down again, you can see there's another P42DC. That is the anniversary model. So I am potentially able to consider that as well when the time comes. There are 4 scenarios in that. We'll see what I decide to do at the time. I don't know. But I might save this and do the anniversary Amtrak at the same time. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. But in any case, we're going to do scenario number 6 today because I don't know where else to go here. You can see that I do have a person on my friend list who has a perfect score, so it looks like it is not a problem. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Continue running the Silver Star down the Atlantic coast. You are currently at Fort Lauderdale heading for Miami. Passenger stops are scheduled for Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, and Miami. Copy that. Open the doors and allow passengers to disembark here at Fort Lauderdale before departing. That is our first stop after all, so it makes sense, doesn't it? Game frozen while we ponder the thought of disembarking passengers. That's long enough. So doors should be open. There's my HUD. You can see again that our headlights start pre-electrified. Pre-on, hello. Headlights are very nice and shiny. We are somewhere in the cab there. What's with the Russian people in the cab here? Is that... That looks like someone who is here to steal my soul. Yeah, that... I did not realize that was the model inside the cab. Okay, that is interesting. Not that I have anything against Russians. Russians are fantastic people. It's just the certain leadership there that I have a problem with right now and the things they're doing. We're not going to get into politics, though. Let's just go ahead and get ourselves on the way here. As we leave Fort Lauderdale, our next stop is Hollywood, due at 17:23. That is 5:23. We have to be there, therefore, in 11 minutes. And I imagine this is doable. But we're starting at a 45 mile per hour speed limit. And you can see a 60 up ahead that I am yearning to reach right now. We are about to pass another train here. That is a 7785-8. A mixed freight service. We're going to see all sorts of cars here. You see the car to the right was an idle stock. It is not moving. Lowering my throttle to a very, very low setting at this point. I'm on flat ground, so there's no hill to deal with, thankfully. Going to go ahead and let the throttle off here. You can see there's some more freight cars. That is also an idle service, or idle stock. Loose consist is the term which should be used, I guess. And therefore will not do anything. Nor will we do anything with it. Already gaining time on my arrival time, which is fantastic. We're going to pass under this bridge, which I believe is some kind of an interstate. Yeah, it looks like one. And we're entering a 60 mile per hour section. Again, we are in America at this point, so it is miles per hour. I will always question why they have to do things differently than everyone else. You know, yards instead of meters. Miles instead of kilometers. Come on, guys. Get with the rest of the world here. I mean, we in Canada know how to do things. That's all I'm going to say. I see a downhill gradient coming up. Let's not increase our speed too much here as we enter this 60 section of track. And increase our speed as such. So I'm going to bring the throttle down just a little bit here. I'm going to actually idle it for a moment because I have a feeling we're still in a good spot right now. So I'm going to move to 22% to gain a little bit. But when we hit this downhill gradient from the 0.8 we're on right now, I have a feeling we're going to be gaining speed fairly steeply. We're on that hill now. Let's cut it off. I'm now at 52.8 and increasing. We are actually around the point where we're gaining time right now. So we're around that borderline where we're gaining and losing time. 1.0% gradient will cause an increase in your speed on these hills. Ground is evening out. I might just leave it where it is right now and as we take the turn. As I do see another small patch of downhill ahead. And I don't know what the gradient on that is yet, but I think we're losing enough speed now that I will increase. Here we go under the bridge. That one that just rose up next to us. And a whole bunch of bridges here. There are highways all over the place down in this part of Florida. It's almost like Los Angeles. The gradient is not much of one, 0.3%, so that is safe. Is this another set of cars or another actual service? Looks like another set of cars. So cars are left everywhere on this scenario. Some messy railroaders here on this scenario. Or from the purpose of scenario creation, neat. Because they're all over the place for us to look at. So the signal next to, the track next to us has a green signal, interestingly enough. As long as we have one, that's what matters. And I swear there was a green signal on the other track, but it doesn't make sense now because the next track was red. Next signal was red. So I'm a little puzzled by that, but not my business. A parking lot to our right. Is your car in there? Sorry. Didn't mean to show it off. I see another downhill patch coming up. We're going to watch ourselves as we come up to the next signal because I want to lose a small amount of speed just in case that comes to be a problem. We have gained a full minute on our ETA. I don't remember the name of this station, and even though I have my iPad next to me, I don't really want to look this up right now. So we're going to go ahead and bring up the map and just show you what that is. That's where we're going. We are up here, and you can see that we just went through Fort Lauderdale Airport, which I should have known. And as we continue further down, we're going to move down to this next station, which is not the one we're going to. It is Sheridan Street. Sheridan Street Track 2, and I believe Hollywood is the next one. Yeah, Hollywood is the next one. And just for those who have not been around since the start of the route and don't feel like going back to look at the older scenarios that I've done here, I'm going to take a moment once I get back up to 60 to show you the whole route. So let's take a quick peek at the route. That'll do for now because I have a downhill coming up. So if we go pop out here, you can see the entire route starts way up here. So the top of the route is located up here at Magnolia Park. Is that what that said? I can't remember how to say that all of a sudden because I didn't zoom in well enough. This is the technical start of the route at West Palm Beach. And as you go all the way down the route through Florida, you come down to Miami Airport down here at the bottom. There's also a Miami somewhere in, not there, somewhere in this area is Miami itself. So Miami's Amtrak station. So those are the potential places you can go to or from on the south end of the route. You really only have one way to go on the north end of the route. We have a 45 coming up, so I don't know why I'm increasing speed. Let's let that continue to slow down as we pass posters advertising a brand new car. Excuse me. Game show announcer thing there. I can see Hollywood right there. We've already gone by Sheridan Street, or is that Sheridan Street up there? I think that's Sheridan Street ahead. So we're about to go through that station right now. Let's do a small brake application here. Taking the brakes off so I can regain speed as I wish. That's good enough for now. I'm going to let the... That's not what I want to do. I'm going to let the speed drop off naturally on its own at this stage. And I'm hitting it downhill, I believe. It might go off in time, but this is risky. Not a problem. We are within speed limits. We are good to proceed. So yeah, who here's been playing Simrail? I got another round in just last night after the night after, or I should say the same day I got home. I think it was 2 nights ago actually. So I got another round in there. It's a Snoviak Glufni. I'm keeping an eye out for what the next station is because what I want to show you on my next Simrail video, which I've not done one for a couple weeks now. What I want to show you on the next Simrail video is the next station we get. Right now we have noticed the Snoviak Pulunuvi on the map. It has returned to the map, whereas nothing else has, not even DGZ, which is Zabkovic. I think I said that right. And therefore, we are strongly suspicious that the neighboring station to Sosnoviak Glufni is going to be available on the next update. So I'm going to keep an eye on that because that is a station I want to show off. I really want to show you that station, and I really want to play that station with a good Sosnoviak Glufni dispatcher. I really want to do that. I'm only going to have to worry about the one dispatcher because I'm not going to have access to the rest of the radio network, so it's going to literally be just that dispatcher and phone calls as needed. I'm going to overshoot this track a little, but that's fine because this train is too long anyway, so I can overshoot this track a wee bit. That is perfectly fine. I shouldn't be in the railroad crossing, but we'll ignore that detail. We have arrived at Hollywood, and the doors are now open. Leaving Hollywood and also leaving the game of annoy the residents of Florida on this road simulator, we are on our way to our final stop at Miami Amtrak station, track number 2. So we have not actually been to this station yet. So just to reiterate where we're going to be going, let's take a quick peek at the map again, like I did earlier. We're going to go ahead and center not on me, but on the location where we're going, which is right there. You can see we're actually not that far from it. So where we're located is somewhere in the blue area up there. We're technically not that far. There's a much further area down here at Miami Airport itself. So we are going to the Amtrak for the first time in this run through the scenarios. Whether we start there in Scenario 8, I have no idea, but we're going to get a chance to find out when we play Scenario 8 at some point. I actually was thinking of just doing the Scenario 8 out of order here because of the fact that they're the same train, but I decided, you know what, we're going to just keep those scenarios in order. We can do the other DLC together. I can figure that out as the time comes, or I can vary it up and do different things at different times. So for the numbered ones, I think I'll just go ahead and keep them in order because it makes sense to do that. So I am starting to consider, by the way, how to handle new content. I don't know if I'm going to want to do entire DLC scenarios at once going forward because I'm starting to consider doing different things every week. And if I decide I want to do different things every week, that means I can limit myself to no more than 2 or 3 items every week. And if I decide to do that, then I'm going to have to do what I'm doing today anyway, pick something and just cut it off after 2 or 3 items. So the new route, I'm going to go ahead and try and do a full week of scenarios. I'm going to skip SimRail for the week because it is a new TSC route. And we only see those every, I don't know, 3-4 months or something like that. So we are going to see that. It is up for pre-order, by the way. I'm already going to be showing it to you on Thursday. That is planned. If I get it early, I'll show it to you early. But for right now, and by the way, by early, I mean first thing Thursday when it comes out, because I might have it the day before, but that's the best I can do. Otherwise, I'm just going to be taping the scenario the same day and showing it to you. So there you go. There is that possibility. But skipping all that detail, I know I'm going to try and show you the first, I want to say the first 3 scenarios. I assume the scenarios are going to be numbered because that's something DTG likes to do, numbering their scenarios in the DLC. They have done it with a number of the previous DLCs, so I presume they're going to do that again. And when we get to that new German route, which, by the way, I think goes from Nuremberg to Bayreuth, and I know I'm saying something wrong in there, but so be it. So when we get to that route, I'm going to try to show you at least, we're coming into an 80, by the way. 79, technically. Train! It's a freight. So when we come to that route, I'm going to try to show you at least the first 3. I don't know if I'm going to do it as a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or if I'm just going to skip SimRail. I might just do it as a Thursday, Friday, skip Saturday, and do a Tuesday, Wednesday. Again, I haven't decided yet. I have to figure out how the scenarios play, how easy they're going to be. I may just have to show you something I'm grumpy with. Like, I may have no choice. And by grumpy, I mean I'm not happy with the quality of my play or something that makes the scenarios impossible to do. I may have to deal with that. We'll see what happens. I have been disappointed by other routes and trains and timetables. Remember, it could happen. But I'm going to bank on the hope that I can show you something nice. If I do have problems getting the first scenario up for Thursday, I will show them to you instead on Friday and Saturday. So I'm not going to be trying to shirk away from this unless I find it absolutely disgusting, in which case I'm just going to quietly do something else. But I want to show you this route. From what I've seen of it, it looks nice. It looks nice. I really want to show you the route in some way. Okay, we're not going to go all the way up to top speed here. We're going to leave it a little bit under just for safety's sake. If we hit it downhill, then we can plan for that. We know we're gaining time on this route, so it's not a problem. We know we're gaining time. 17:49 is in fact our expected arrival time. We're scheduled for 17:50. So we can stay a few kilometers under the speed limit. We could even have a red signal up ahead somewhere. We don't know. Not the next signal, but we could have another one somewhere. The other one might be too close, in fact, for us to be a red too. I don't know yet. We'll find out. If we have a yellow, we're in trouble. We're not going to slow down for that next signal in time. Maybe we can. I don't know. Who knows? But given our arrival time, I think it's going to be green all the way. These scenarios have been generally just to get to your destination and call it a day. They haven't really been trying to throw too many tricks at us, except for maybe the shunting. But that's a very quick mission. Get your shunt done. Manage your stops properly so you can stop at the final stop, and you're good. There goes the siding over there. Want to look out the window where that goes? That's where it goes. And we're passing orange juice ads. Excellent. Big car. I could use a brand new car, you know? Sure, everyone could use a brand new car at some point. Is that a... Nope, that is an idle stock over there. So lots of trains all over the tracks that aren't doing anything today. Very interesting. Very interesting. I had some kind of warning here. Is that a yellow signal? Let's zoom in here. That is a green signal. What am I being warned for? Why am I being warned? Was that a faulty signal? I don't know if I'm supposed to slow down or not, but I'm kind of letting the speed go off a little bit because I have the time. I might as well make sure that I'm okay for what's going on here. We're only 7 miles to go. Maybe it was a warning of a speed limit drop very, very far ahead, but I don't see any indication of what it is or where it is. So this concerns me just a little bit. If I just see a green at the next signal, I'm going to assume it was a phantom signal. Maybe it was a yellow and it turned green right after we got the alert. I don't know. Let's try to zoom ahead on this one. Is that an active train? Nope. There's a station there. If I remember, I'll put information as to what it is. I don't remember, but we don't stop there. Not going to bring up the map this time. I'm not getting any phantom alerts this time. I'm still gaining time, so I'm okay going 70. There's another station going off over there, by the way. Another track heading off to a yard somewhere. So these are all over the place on this route. We have a green. I'm going to assume that... Oh, we got another... We're getting signal alerts. Oh, there's the 45. That's what we're being warned about. Okay, break time. I spot the 45. We're going to meet it. I'm going to hold here for now because I should be able to get the last bit off. So I'm going to hold in the 50s. I might have taken it down just a little too early for the game's liking because I'm actually losing time on my ETA. But I've got plenty of time, so I'm okay with this. At a quarter of a mile, I'm going to bring it down the rest of the way. I'm actually starting to gain time, so I can actually start doing that now. Good enough. Let's not lose too much more, please. Very good. So I'm in a good position now for speed. Let's enter the 45. There's the sign. And you can see it on the HUD. And we're getting reminded about lunch. Am I the only one who sees that hamburger sign is reminded of a certain restaurant? That's a special northbound Amtrak, it looks like. So we're just going to watch it go by. Lots of cars on it. And off it goes. You can see that each stop on this scenario is worth 334 points. That was an accident. I don't know what that ad was. And more oranges. And let's take a quick look over here at the signage on this highway, because there is more signage on the highway saying that we're going to West 155th Street in 1 mile. Is that in 1 mile? Let's go and find out. I'd say it is not in 1 mile. That's the end of the road. That explains why the road is oddly quiet, doesn't it? I see a yellow over green. Are we going to be slowing down after this? Well, there is a 40 coming up, so it might have been a speed signal. Passing through another station here. Miami's nice. You can see another ad up. That's the ad I wanted to know. Oh, yeah, the Go Fish ad. That's what that was. Okay. Well, I didn't remember what that ad was. I forgot about it. Make sure you go fish. By the way, there's a 20 coming up beyond this 40, so we're going to need to slow down quite a bit here. Let's keep this in mind that we're going to have to hit the brakes. So we are still 3 miles away from our destination, but at 20 miles per hour, we're going to get down to about 2.5 miles. And about 20 miles per hour, it's going to take us about 7 minutes to travel that segment. However, that's plenty of time. That's plenty of time if we're at 20 the whole way. Let's take a little bit of speed off. Just a little bit. More. Thank you. That's going to work for a decrease. I'm letting it off now. More tracks heading off over there to a car ad. Okay, need a little more brakes now. So we're getting down to the 30 range, which is where I want to be as I pass this signal. As I pass the 40, I'm going to start slowing down for the 20. So there's a red over yellow. We take the junction at 45 speed limit as we enter a 40. We're preparing to move into Miami Amtrak, which is why we're on the left track, so we can move on to the tracks leading to that station. We're going to now get ready for our 20 mile per hour section here, so bring some speed off. A little more, actually. Get that speed down, please. We are successful. Let's just bring it down just a wee bit more to make sure I don't have a problem. That'll do. Nicely. Thank you. So we've now entered the 20. Technically, this is sort of like a yard area, so lots of tracks here. And people could be working here, moving across, so we have to slow down. Let's blow the horn. Just to say, hey everyone, we're here. No, that's not what it actually means. So our ETA is still apparently 1747. Apparently for this less than 2 miles, we must be going into a 15 somewhere to slow down a little bit more. That must be what's happening. Because I can't see why else we would be taking that long at 20. In this range of speed. Is that a... That's a green signal. I was confused for a second. There's a train joining over here on the left. That goes to yard, or comes from a yard area at this point, I should say. So that comes from a set of yards, and we continue forward. Even if that estimate is correct, we're still going to be 3 minutes early. So this is not going to be a problem from a timing perspective. Some trucks, or as you British folks may prefer to call them, lorries. They look better here. I'm just going to be honest, the trucks here look better. They do. The trees in front of them also look pretty good. What is that up ahead? Oh, it's a turn. Okay, I saw a building and I was a little concerned. I was a little concerned for a second. I think it was a wall I'm looking at. I'm kind of letting the speed dip off because I know I'm good for my time anyway. I could just come in at 15 the rest of the way just in case a 15 limit shows up. And I'd probably be okay. I doubt we're going to go any slower than 15, if even that. I think it is 20 all the way in. But if I'm wrong, I will find out. You'll find out with me. Oh, and those tracks over on the right, those are the main lines to Miami Airport. You saw the building there. You see another hamburger ad, which we'll get off of because I'm getting hungry. So you can see, oh, another one. Darn it. They're everywhere. So those tracks head off to Miami Airport. There's a water tower over there on the right. So that's off to Miami Airport. There's another junction track that leads that way. We're not even on that track right now, so it's not even an option. We have yellows. I guessed correctly that there is a 15 up ahead, but we didn't need to slow down when we did. I just let it slow down naturally. Stop that. So we're going to increase speed just a little bit, take advantage of the fact we can still go a little faster for right now. And then we'll let it come down on its own. More tracks. As you may have noticed, when I hit the brakes on this train, it can be hard to gauge where you want to let them off. So if I come in at a full 20, I'm going to have to put the brakes heavy on, and I could end up coming down to 13 or 12. At these low speeds, that can really be detrimental to your time. Even though we're generally going to be okay here, you want to be cautious about something like that at low speed. So if you know your train takes a while to let the brakes off, let them off early and try and milk it down to the proper speed. Apply some throttle to prevent the train slowing down too much. Things like that. So there's Miami Airport right there. You see the track up ahead? I can go ahead and punch the speed up just a wee bit more, like that. I'm actually going to go ahead and do just a wee bit. Oh, that's good enough. Good enough. No more. Cars are starting to catch up to me and they might actually push me. Yep, there's the push. Went up from 6 to 7 for a second there. So red over white, we can proceed at our 15 mile per hour speed restriction and no more. I believe that is like a shunting signal. I'll go ahead and I'll see if I get some information on that. I believe that is the shunting type signal though. Whatever it means exactly, I will try and put in a tooltip here. So we're down to a single track now. It's about to split up into the various platforms. Well, I think 2 of them for Miami Airport. You can see the balloon track, by the way, moving off to the right and also to the left. That is the balloon track. Quick peek at the map as we approach. We shouldn't be gaining speed, so quick peek at the map. You can see that that balloon track will eventually form with more tracks coming into and out of it. And it's going to go around behind the station via Hialeah Balloon South. So that is the balloon track going off and eventually meets back in the front. So that single track is where everything meets in the middle. And that single track is where you're going to pull back into, and your shunting path can be set back to a different spot. So if you have some cars that you had to leave somewhere, you can take the balloon track, go all the way around, move back to the other side of the cars, hook up and move on to the other directions. So you're able to do that if you just brought something in and you're taking something back out. It's possible to do that. Just run the one locomotive that way. And no problem with timings in this scenario whatsoever. Was there any doubt? No, not really. So as we get to the station building, I'm going to put a little bit of speed on. And I'm talking the station building on the HUD itself. And I said put a little speed on. I meant take the brakes on. Put the brakes on a little bit. As we see some nice old cars over here on, well, an old truck. The new car and an old truck. Isn't that a nice combination? New car, old truck. Miami. A little more brake on here. I'm going to try and pull up us all the way if I can because I want to see the train all the way at the buffer if I can help it. There's no time. There's no stop point on the buffer. There's no distance. But we can try to gauge where it's going to end up here as we move in slowly. In fact, I can also go ahead and show it to you from outside the cabin. Let's just pop out over here. Let's watch the train come up, and we can actually see when the train comes up. So you can see there's lots of space here. I shouldn't be going that slowly yet, so a wee bit more. People showing up down here, watch us come in. I don't really need to go all the way to the buffer, but I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity to do so. You know, it's not letting me go up much further here, is it? There we go. So you can see that there are going to be a few... I'm counting the yellow bits of track here. I think we've got about 16 to go. So let's see where we are. Oh, yeah, we can't even see it right now. Look at this. So we are going to go ahead and just stop because we can't see a thing at this point. Better safe than sorry at this stage. So doors are open at Miami Amtrak, track number 2. And let's go ahead and look at the train. And that's another set of passengers delivered courtesy of Amtrak. All 6 or 7 of them who stayed on the train all the way. Now, it's more than that. I'm sure it's more than that. I'm just kind of poking fun at the fact that Amtrak is apparently been in a perpetual state of losing money, which is unfortunate. They really are... I'm not going to get the whole politics of things, but they get screwed over by the heavy freight companies who basically try to who basically flex their muscle over the fact they own the railways and don't want to let Amtrak have any access to some of them, which is unfortunate because they can't run passenger services that actually would help them make money and would make passengers a lot happier as well, possibly saving them some money. So it's unfortunate, really is, but hopefully that all changes one day. But anyway, all stops completed with no problems. Your work here is finished. Well done. So let's look at the scoring screen. We're going to get ready to play the other train next time again. So scenario number 7 will be following. For now, let's see how we did. Should be 1,000 easy. So we can see that we have achieved the Miami Veteran achievement here. What that means is that you get 1,000 points in 6 different DLC, or you just get basically, let me rephrase that, 6,000 points across all 8 scenarios in the DLC, which in my case means I've got 1,000 points on 6 scenarios, which means I've already unlocked it. There are still 2 achievements to get, and I'm not going to load them right now and go over them right now, but there are 2 more, I should say 2 more scenarios and possibly 2 more achievements, maybe another one for driving the trains, I don't know. But I'd have to check that and get back to you on that. Maybe I'll see if I can research that before tomorrow's scenario. But for right now, that is Silver Star to Miami. 6 scenarios are done. We're going to do the 7th scenario next time. And then I'm going to take an immediate break from Train Sim Classic again. We're going to head over and check out whatever the new station is. I believe it's Sosnowiec Polunowy, but it could be something else. It could be Dubrovnik next to Zabkowice for all we know. We might be getting thrown off the whole time with that station being on the map. But the station is on the SimRail map again. And I am looking forward to showing you that station next week. And I'm going to try to get and the reason I'm only going to plan to do this on Tuesday is because I'm trying to spend possibly a whole couple days getting a shift at the station somewhere. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get a shift on the EN1 server. If I can't, then I'm going to have to settle for trying to manage the station with another player and who... we join the same server intentionally, and maybe some trains can be going through over that period so we can see some good service as well going through. But other than that, I'll figure that out because SimRail multiplayer is a beast that is hard to control from a video management standpoint. All we can do is take what we get, filter it, and show it to you in the filtered format. That's all I can really do. So whatever we get, we get. If I have to show it to you with no one present, I'll do that, but at the very least, I'm going to see if I can at least have someone on the phone to communicate with at Sosnowiec Glufny in the event I do have to do it on a kind of a dead server. It's actually probably better that way, because I don't have to talk to people that way. The train's going by. That's something I don't think a lot of people might necessarily want to do. So we might just go to a dead server. We might just do some play that way, and we might be able to get a good look at the stations that way. But in any case, that's Tuesday. We have another scenario in this game tomorrow. Stay tuned for scenario number 7 tomorrow. I'm Cyclone. Make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And that is free, by the way. So all that you can do easily and doesn't cost you a penny. And lets me know that you like what I'm doing here. Have a wonderful day, evening, or night, whatever it is for your part of the world. I'll see you next time for more Train Simulator Classic on the West Palm Beach to Miami route here in lovely Florida. See you next time. I'm Cyclone. Bye-bye.